Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Visit NC Partner Webinar. This week, we're going to talk about the tourism conference coming up. We're really excited about it. As everybody knows, we're happy to be back in person. We're really thrilled to be in Asheville. We're expecting record attendance. We've got a lot going on. There's a lot of changing things happening in the marketing world, and we've got some really amazing, informative sessions. This is really a marketing conference. So Scott Peacock is going to take it away as our marketing director and the leader of that team. And I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Whit. Before I get started, if anyone has questions as we go, feel free to put those in the chat, and we will have a Q&A at the end, and we can even have a live Q&A for any questions that pop up, that you're not unable to put in the chat. But use the chat function, and we'll keep an eye on those questions as they come through. All right, here we go, y'all. Okay, new year, new conference. As you probably saw from the email communications that we put out, we have changed the name of the conference, and you might be wondering why. Well, quick answer is that Visit NC 365, although fun and kitschy and cool, was kind of hard to recall for people, especially those that are new to the industry. And with so many new people coming into our industry post-pandemic, it didn't have that lasting staying power that it had at one point in time. Also, it was harder for people to understand who it was and who was behind it. So we thought, let's just simplify it and let's make sure that everybody knows who's behind the conference and what the conference is just by knowing the title of the event alone. So hence the new name, the Visit NC Tourism Conference. Straightforward and simple, not super sexy or fun, but I think it'll have some lasting power and staying power as well. So we're excited about that we put our logo mark in there as the logo, as another way to just make sure people understand this is the state's tourism conference put on by the State Tourism Office. What's new this year? A lot, as Wood mentioned. The first thing we want everybody to know is that there's a new schedule or date pattern than what we've had in a long time. So the quick answer is that Monday is the new Sunday and Tuesday is the new Monday. So just make sure you're planning your hotel and arriving at the right date to get this thing started this year. So wanted to kind of walk you through what that will look like for everybody. Monday is going to be when registration will open. So you won't need to arrive on Sunday unless you would like to come early. We've got a short form video workshop that had a pre-registration for it. It has actually sold out. May have a waiting list for that if you're interested, but for the most part, we think that's going to be a full event. We'll then have the Solution Hub, which is another new opportunity for us this year, which Heidi will touch on in a couple minutes. Exhibitor Hall will open the Marketing Co-op presentation, which we'll get into in another minute here. And then that night will be the opening reception. So again, Monday is kind of the new Sunday for those that have been at the conference in years past. We're looking forward to an awesome first day and hopefully it provided opportunities for you all to come early and to get the most out of it long before we get to the opening reception, which will be a ton of fun. The Solution Hub. I'm going to hand it over to Heidi to talk a little bit more about what that is and what you all can expect from it.
Great. Thanks, Scott. So last year at ESTO, so if any of you went to ESTO last year, you've probably experienced the Solution Hub. And I thought it was just a really clever way for some of these sponsors to actually tell us how we can use their data or how we can use whatever it is that they want us to buy or that we already buy. So what it is, it's going to be four different 15-minute sessions that you can rotate every 15 minutes and go to a different one. And it's going to be in an open space, but you'll have headsets. So the headset of whatever area you're sitting in you'll hear only that presentation. So it's a really cool concept. We're going to, as I said, we're going to have 4 of these. 3 of them have been decided. We'll have Zartico, TripAdvisor, and Disney. And we will have more information on what each of those companies is going to talk about and how you can use their data for your marketing. So stay tuned. We'll probably have more in Newslink coming up in the next couple of weeks about each of those. So you can just come and attend. You don't have to register for them. So I would definitely try to get there to do the solution hubs because they're going to be really interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Heidi, for bringing that opportunity to us. It was a lot of fun at ESTO, and we've already had a good, amount of people that have kind of pre-registered for that event and shown interest as well. We've got over 100 people that have said that they'd like to come to that, so we're looking forward to some good attendance and some good conversations at that. Then that moves into Tuesday. Tuesday is the new Monday. Tuesday is your opening full day of conference, and so we'll open with our keynote speaker, Samantha Brown. Hope everybody's excited to hear from her. I know that I am. And then we will move into our express keynotes. So if you've been to last year's conference, you know that we started to take some of our larger keynotes and break them up into smaller 30-minute segments to kind of get more topics and speakers out there. We had good feedback from everybody that that was a really good idea and they liked it. So we kept it going this year. On that opening day, Tuesday, we will have the first one from Zeke Coleman, who's with Tourism Economics, talking about the economy, what's going to happen with the recession, and how will the North Carolina travel industry overall fare from it. And then we're going to have one from REI. This is a speaker that y'all may have recalled if you were part of our virtual conference a couple years ago. Paulo from REI, we had him set to come in person and decided to bring him back and try to do that again this time around. So he's going to be talking about how REI is working on customer engagement through storytelling and solutions, and he's going to have a lot of good takeaways and tangible ideas for the marketers in the room as well, especially as it pertains to sustainability and how to kind of appropriately message that. Then we got the annual awards luncheon. I'm real excited about this year's award recipients. Can't tell you much about it. You'll have to come to find out. Our breakout sessions after that, we got 7 really solid breakout sessions for everybody, so please take a look at the website. And start thinking about which ones you'd like to go to, divide and conquer. If you have more than one colleague that's attending the event with you, maybe you come up with a plan of attack so you can share notes and get into more than one without having to physically be in more than one session at one time. And then we've got the media marketplace, which we'll touch on in a minute, the legislative update, and then a fun happy hour that evening that we're still working on some cool activations around, but we can't tell you about that yet. So Wednesday, we will have our breakfast that morning, opening remarks, 2 more express sessions. These were just solidified in the last couple of days, and they'll be up on the website later today, but everyone on the webinar will get to hear a little preview on it. The first one is Airbnb, and the second one is going to be NCTIA talking about workforce development solutions across the state. 2 very timely topics and speakers that we feel will resonate with the crowd. So we're real excited to have those 2 come on board, and we will have those up on the website today yet, if not tomorrow at the latest. And then we'll have our little exhibitor break, and then we get into the VNC lunch, which we'll talk about, and then outdoor NC leave no trace training. During the marketing co-op, what's new? Well, first off, we're excited to move the marketing co-op out of a breakout room this year and put it in the grand ballroom. So you can expect laser light shows, fog machines, people dropping from the ceiling. It's going to be a circus. No, I'm just kidding. But it will be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot more breathing room and have the ability to maybe make the presentation a little more dynamic than it's been in the past. We've got a lot new offerings this year. We've got some new bundling and packaging that we put together to try to make things more affordable for you all. We've also found some ways to sort of position the co-op program to make it easier to navigate. So if it looks like it's just this big Bible and it's almost too much to try to understand at one time, we found some ways to sort of put some ideas together of helping you navigate it. If you're a destination that only has this much of a budget and you want to try to hit people through email and digital and whatever, maybe you look at packaging these things together. So we've found some ways to hopefully make it simpler for people to understand and kind of navigate it. So we're real excited to talk about all of those at the co-op program, and we hope you can all make it. We will be sending out the co-op brochure in advance, like we did last year and the last couple of years, so you can all take a look at that and have a couple of ideas before you show up, so you're ready to sign up for some of those really hot programs that will sell out quickly. The media marketplace, PR team has done an amazing job, cultivating this over the years and constantly looking for ways to kind of fine tune it and make it fair and equitable for everybody. So for those that haven't participated before, it's a 5-minute speed pitching appointment with journalists. We're going to have in-state and national media both in attendance this year, a really good solid list of media coming Pre-registration for this event is required. So if you haven't registered yet, when you do register, if you're interested, please sign up for it. And if you've already registered, stay tuned for confirmations coming your way. Exact appointments may not be guaranteed because we only have so many media and so many people participating, but we'll make sure to get you enough appointments. And there's a couple other events that might allow you to do some networking with those that you can't get an appointment with. So just stay tuned for more details coming on that, how it's going to work, and if your appointments are going to be scheduled appropriately the way you like. Visit NC update. So as I mentioned before, this is going to take place on Wednesday, last day of the conference per usual. But what we wanted to do this year was make it a little more dynamic. So we are going to be providing lunch. We know that we're all the way out in the mountains, and we want to make it worthwhile for people that are going to be able to stick around and stay for that. So we're providing a lunch. Next year's host, Visit Greenville, is going to be doing an awesome program for us and showcasing some local food there for everybody to get excited about and get ready for next year. We're going to be highlighting our programs and key initiatives like we always do, but what we have decided to do intentionally to make this a little bit more interesting for everyone as well this year is not so much, here's what we're doing and isn't it cool and great, or not, your judgment, but what are some key takeaways so that you can learn from the things that we're doing. So we're going to be talking about our new campaign that we'll be rolling out, walk you through the research that we did to develop it, to look at new target audiences and new marketing strategies that we're deploying, and make sure that everything we talk about has a key takeaway for you that you can apply, in your business as well. So we want to make it really tangible and not just so much us reporting out, make it as educational as we can. So we're really excited about that kind of nuanced change to how we present on stage and what we present to you. And we're really, really excited about our new brand that we'll be rolling out, and we hope that you all stick around to see that as well. And then at the end of the conference, after we wrap up with lunch, there is a Leave No Trace training that is being put on by Heidi and the Outdoor NC team. So I'll let her talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. Thank you. Yes, we heard from a lot of people who could not attend the 3 Leave No Trace trainings that we had in the fall, that really still wanted some kind of training. So we are going to do this Leave No Trace training right immediately after the ending luncheon. So you do not have to be a member of the Partner Alliance, but we hope that if you'll come to this, you might think about joining the Partner Alliance. But anyone who didn't get to see it or would like a little refresher, it might be a little bit different than it was before. But Faith overall from Leave No Trace will be there, and she will be conducting it along with her able assistants, Amanda and I. So we hope to see you there. Again, if you attended before, you may get some new learnings out of this. So hope you'll stay.
Thanks, Heidi. And that was it for sort of our formal what's new. Want to now take any questions that you all might have.
Looks like there's a question from Grace about the auction. Yes, NCTIA and the Tourism Education Foundation are doing the auction again this year. So reach out to Christine at the management office, and she will tell you what to do and how to get your donations there. I also, Scott, wanted to add that for the opening night reception, after the reception, the Asheville CVB is organizing transportation to go into town. So if you want to go out on that first night and you want to go into town, there will be transportation provided for that. So thanks to the CVB.
Okay. Guys, is there another question in the chat?
We got one through the Q&A function that was asking on the media marketplace, is that limited to one per organization or can more attend?
Yeah, no, that's limited to one per organization, just because space and making sure that the ratio of attendees to journalists sort of stays where it needs to be. So we ask that you only send one representative, per organization to that event. Great question. And
then similar, another question through the Q&A. I remember in previous conferences you had to pre-register for the breakout sessions. Is there a pre-registration required for this year's conference?
Another great question. No, we are blessed this year to be in a very large hotel with lots of space for everyone. So we will not be requiring you all to pre-register for those breakout rooms. We think we're going to be able to make it work and fit everybody in, no matter which one you attend. So pick and choose, or do some bartering and trading the day of, and kind of see which one floats your boat. But we'll have room for everybody. We're real excited about not having to have that applied this year.
And one last one just came in real quick. Do we know, is the room block at the Grove Park Inn, has it been filled?
Yeah, so great question. It is nearly full. The shoulder nights are already full. The conference nights, just a couple of rooms remaining, honestly. And so what we have done, and you'll see that reflected on the website today, is we've opened up 2 overflow hotels. One is the Renaissance and the other is the Element. So we've got overflow and reduced rates at those 2 properties that are in downtown Asheville. If you are going to book at one of those properties, just be aware that you will be on your own for transportation from those properties to Grove Park. And then once you're at Grove Park, if you are driving, you'll have to pay for parking on site as well. If you take an Uber or a Lyft, or a taxi, you won't need that, but just kind of factor those additional costs in on top of your room rate if you pick either one of those 2 hotels. But we've tried to get more rooms from the Grove Park, but they are very popular. So we've kind of maxed out on that. So we're going to move into an overflow situation now, and hopefully still be able to get everybody at the conference that would like to attend.
Excellent. That takes care of the questions from the Q&A. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, anyone that's on there have any questions that you haven't asked yet? Feel free to unmute yourself and just throw them out if you do. Okay. Well, we're really excited about this year's conference. We can't wait to see everybody. And if you have any questions that come up later, please feel free to reach out to Heidi or myself. And we're happy to answer them for you. But looking forward to seeing everybody in less than a month in Asheville.
Yep. Scott, you want to tell them about the next webinar?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I forgot about that. Our next webinar is going to be all about U.S. Travel's National Travel and Tourism Week, which is coming up in May. And so we're going to give you a preview about a month out of resources and opportunities that are out there to help you get plugged into that and make sure that you're taking advantage of it from an awareness and advocacy perspective in your destination. So please join us for that one. We're hoping to get as many DMOs around the state to be able to participate in that this year and really showcase the value of travel and tourism in your areas.
Great. We'll see you all in Asheville.
Yeah.